आज के इस एनालिसिस में हम समझेंगे something truly fascinating. We're diving into an absolute masterclass in modern digital storytelling, right from a text called Architects of Influence. Now, we aren't just looking at its historical claims here. Oh no. We are doing a deep dive into the literal mechanics of how those exact claims are engineered to go insanely viral. So, we've kind of got a dual focus in this explainer. On one side, you have this grand, sweeping narrative about hidden history and global power. And on the flip side, we're looking at the incredibly calculated strategy used to capture and completely hold your attention in our digital age.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What wasn't told in the history books? I mean, just think about your own reaction when you hear that phrase. Instantly, right? A massive information gap opens up in your mind. The source text explicitly identifies this exact question as the ultimate hook. You see, trending content almost always kicks off with a secret. By framing a narrative around what's been hidden or, conveniently omitted from your standard high school education, it practically guarantees that people are going to stop scrolling and stay tuned. It is a psychological trigger perfectly designed to tap into our innate human curiosity.
Moving right along to Section 1, The Secret Alliance, Geopolitics Meets Hidden History. So right at the core of this whole strategy is this idea of the secret alliance. It's basically the concept of how ancient empires laid the groundwork for modern power and global wealth. What it does is take two of the absolute highest performing themes out there, geopolitics and hidden history, and just seamlessly smashes them together. And let me tell you, this specific combo, totally by design. It's meant to trigger that viral curiosity by planting the seed that the very systems of control we navigate every single day were actually designed centuries or maybe even millennia ago by ancient powers.
Which brings us to Section 2, Foundations of Global Wealth, Tracing the Power.
And this brilliantly illustrates the central tension of the entire narrative we're unpacking. On one side, you've got these distant, shadowy ancient empires. And on the other, highly tangible, modern concepts like power and global wealth. You've probably noticed that audiences are already deeply invested in who controls things today. But when you frame that modern control against the backdrop of the ancient world, boom, it gives it this mythical, almost forbidden weight. It's a direct thematic comparison, bridging the old world with the new. And honestly, it is an incredibly effective way to keep an audience relentlessly engaged.
To make that comparison actually work, the narrative maps out a very specific progression. First, we start way back in the era of ancient empires. Then, we hit a massive historical milestone, the creation of banks. And finally, it drops us right into the modern era with the rise of the USA. Guys, these aren't just random historical trivia facts. They are carefully selected plot points. The text uses them to show a direct transition of power, from ancient rulers straight into the hands of modern financial institutions and geopolitical giants. It gives the viewer a clear, structured path from an ancient secret right to their modern, everyday reality.
So, the crucial point is, why does this specific arrangement of history and finance work so incredibly well online? Let's get into Section 3, Anatomy of a Viral Hook. Why this topic trends.
The strategy laid out here is startlingly clear. It gives us three very specific reasons why this exact topic is an absolute viral goldmine. First up, high stakes. It combines power and money. Second, the mysterious hook. It starts with a secret. And third, broad appeal. It claims to explain exactly who controls today's world. I mean, this is practically a Michelin star recipe for digital engagement. Just think about those wildly popular late-night conspiracy explainers you end up watching at 2 a.m. They all use this exact formula. It just goes to show that going viral isn't some happy accident. It's a meticulously engineered process targeting exactly what we desperately want to know.
Let's zoom in on that first point for just a second. Power and money. Audiences naturally have the highest level of interest in topics linked to these two things, specifically stuff like the rise of the USA and the creation of banking systems. Why? Because these aren't just abstract philosophical ideas. They represent tangible modern control. When a narrative promises to reveal the secret origins of power and money, it instantly elevates the stakes. It goes from being a dry history lesson to feeling like essential survival information for navigating the world today.
All right, let's look at Section 4, the power of mystery, crafting the intrigue.
Now, what's really interesting here is how insanely specific the visual manipulation gets. The source material actually gives a direct pro tip for thumbnail design. It advises keeping things dark and intriguing. It literally suggests placing a weathered old map right next to a sleek modern building. And the finishing touch?
slapping an eye or some secret symbol dead in the center. It's fascinating, isn't it? These visual contrasts and classic tropes of hidden societies, like the all-seeing eye, are highly calculated tools. They're designed to trigger your curiosity and signal that forbidden knowledge is just one single click away.
And the blueprint goes even further. The pitch actually concludes with this highly tactical offer. Do you want me to prepare a viral style hook that grips viewers in the very first 30 seconds? Notice the wording there. Not engages, not introduces, but grips or traps them. It really highlights the absolute reality of content creation today. You literally have 30 seconds. 30 seconds to leverage the power, the money, the secret symbols, and the hidden history before the viewer just completely scrolls away to whatever is next.
Which brings us to our final thought. This narrative isn't just for casual history buffs. It's for anyone trying to understand the mechanics of modern control. Seeing how meticulously this entire viral strategy was constructed, using ancient empires and secret symbols, leaves us with a pretty compelling question to chew on. When you consume these grand narratives online, are you actually learning hidden history, or are you just witnessing the modern architects of influence at work?